I am Chance, and today I'm going to be doing GCSE history on the exam board WJEC. We're going to be doing about USA 1910 to 29. We're going to start with section A, the main political and social challenges facing America. Chapter 1, why did immigration become such a major issue in American society? Basically about issues that American people face with more immigrants and the issues that immigrants faced coming to America. Okay, so first of all, we got to learn what the type of immigrants were. There were basically two types. New immigrants, which were the southern Eastern European immigrants, so people from Russia, Poland, poorer countries. They were coming in, and they weren't as well liked because they didn't have as better education, they didn't have as well spoken English, as much money, whereas the old immigrants, which coming from Western and Northern Europe, were better educated, they had better English, they had a bit more money, so that's why everyone would prefer them. Then, of course, you've got WASPs, which are the older immigrants. That's what their nicknames were, WASPs. White, Anglo-Saxon Protestants. WASPs. Yay! Which were more liked, and you'll find that most presidents from the beginning of presidency were WASPs, apart from JFK, and it didn't turn out well for him, did it? He got assassinated. So, I'm just saying. So there were reasons people were moving to America. They didn't just randomly decide one day, I'm going to go to America. No, there were push factors and pull factors. Yay. So I'm going to start with the push factors. These are the factors that pushed people away from their country. They said, ew, I don't like this country. And these are the reasons why. So there would be war. So that's obviously something you want to get away from. Overcrowding. If there's more population, then there's less resources and less jobs, which is another reason why people would leave their country. There'd be more employment opportunities in America where there was bigger land and less people. They also fled countries to escape persecution. So, like the Jews were being persecuted in the 40s because of the Germans in Germany. They'd leave then. And natural disasters, maybe hurricanes or floods, earthquakes, that sort of thing. So that's why they'd be pushed away from their country. Then you have the pull factors, which are basically why people would want to go to America. Why'd they think, oh, America's cool, let's go there. Better education. So if there's better education, you're going to get a better job, you're going to be able to do better in your life. So then you've also got the idea of the American dream. So you can bring yourself up out in the mud and be a better individual because of the life that America can give you. You can work hard for what you've got and get a real good life from hard work. And then you've got the idea of a whole new life. I mean, that's got to be a great idea, isn't it? You can start somewhere completely new. That's a lovely idea. I'd love to start somewhere completely new. And then you've got religious freedom. So like I said, if you're facing persecution in one country, you'd want to move to a different country where you'd be allowed to freely express who you are. And democracy. If you're in a country under a dictatorship, the idea of moving to a country where you can vote for who's going to lead you through your life is going to be so much nicer than living under a strict regime. So you'd want to move to America for that reason. Okay, moving on, you have the 1920s coming in. Well, not the 1920s, the early 1920s. Then where you have the Red Scare. Communism. People were terrified. And the reason they were terrified is because they didn't like communism. It went against everything that Americans believed in. The idea of rugged individualism, that what you've got is yours and you earn it, whereas the idea of communism is sharing. No! Sharing! But communism has a major flaw in its design. It can be corrupt so easily. So people didn't like it. Anyway, it started in Russia, which is where a lot of these new immigrants are coming from, which is why people were so opposed to these new immigrants. They didn't like them. They were drunks. They were increasing crime. They were forming ghettos with people from their own country. And to top all that off, they're bringing communism with them. These communists need to get out of my country, yeah? Yeah? That's what the Americans were like. I can't do an American accent. I'm sorry. So they hated that, which brought on the Palmer raids, which is basically... I like to say things basically and then really not basically at all. Just do it as long-winded as I can. No. Basically, a guy named Mitchell Palmer, hence the term Palmer raids, attacked socialist parades and socialist organisations and arrested around 6,000 socialist or people getting into the idea of socialism because he thought they might be communists. They might be communists and they need to be taken down. So that's why they took them. And a lot of people were also sent back to Russia because, oh no, communist, commies. And they were nicknamed the Reds because their flag had a hammer and a sickle and red. So that's why communists were nicknamed the Reds, hence the Red Scare. And finally we have the Sacco and Vanzetti case. This is really important, I think, because it just highlights the intolerance for immigrants at the time in the USA. So basically there were these two Italian labourers, Sacco and Vanzetti. Wow, never would have guessed. And they were arrested on charge of murder because a witness said they had olive-coloured skin, and these guys were around at the time, so they thought, oh, let's charge these with murder. The evidence was completely flimsy. It was ridiculous. They'd gotten a couple of bullets, and they said, oh, these kind of match the bullets that these guys have got, probably, maybe. They had a lineup of suspects who all looked pretty much the same, and the witness had to pretty much have it pointed out to them that these guys were the murderers. They were unfortunately executed on the 24th of August in 1927, I think. Yep. But it's okay, because they were pardoned in 1970. Oh, they died? What? Oh, bit late. Oh well, they tried their best. But anyway, the point is it highlighted what an intolerance they had at the time for any foreigners, especially new immigrants, Italians, new immigrants. Ew, we don't like them. However, there were demonstrations against it and saying how unfair the trial was, how flimsy the evidence was, and how ridiculous it was that these guys were being charged with the murder that they most likely didn't do. Turns out they didn't. They were pardoned in 1970. Whoops, too late. Oh no, it's already been done. That is my chapter on why did immigration... I can't read it the wrong way around. It is now, but it wasn't then. Why did immigration become such a major issue in American society? That's my take on it. There's probably many more takes on it. There's probably hundreds of revision guides out there that have done a much better job than me. But if you are listening or watching, then I'm glad you've taken the time to actually sit and watch a 9-minute video. You need to get a life, guys. No, I'm kidding. It's great that you're revising. Good luck on your quest. I'm trying to have luck on mine. This has really helped me to revise. So thank you. And yay! Bye! Thank you very much.